Ahoy there folks, I'm Captain Benzie and welcome to another developer Q&A video for Eve Echoes. If you already know what a developer Q&A video is all about, and if you don't care about learning how to win a month of Omega, you can click the timestamp shown on screen now to jump ahead to the meat of the video. For the rest of you who have stayed around, the developer Q&A series is a series I do every single week. Essentially, the devs take 4 or 5, sometimes 3 questions posed by the community, that's you guys, and they respond to those questions, posting the answers to both the official Eve Echoes Facebook page, the Twitter account, Discord, and somewhere in-game as well. And you may be asking yourself, okay, so if it's that easy to read this, why do you do a video on it each week, Benzie? Well, essentially, I see a lot of people read the dev Q&A and they're only getting sort of a tiny part of the actual answer. Obviously, the actual answers given are pretty short, but they do often tie in with previous developer Q&As, Discord AMAs, the roundtable events that they've held in the past, or even conversations that I've had with developers myself. So I feel like I can add a little additional layer of insight into things. Hopefully, if you enjoy watching these, you'll see me answer these questions and talk about my own personal thoughts and opinions and how this could affect the game going out from there. It is, of course, my personal opinion and we're sort of theory crafting, but I do like to think I understand how Eve Echoes works, and certainly I've got an extensive history of game development in the background that I hope can shed some light on additional parts of it. Now, if you have a question you would like the developers to answer, you can head to the description of this video, click the link to a Google document, fill in your question there. If your question is one that is responded to, not only will you get an answer, not only will you get featured in one of my videos, you'll also win a month of basic Omega. And if you want to win a month of Combo Omega, then all you need to do is be commenting on my videos here on YouTube, and be active in the Cat Skull Discord in the public channels. That's linked below as well in the description. I give away 3 months of Combo Omega every single week. 3 people each win a month of Combo Omega every single week. Anyway, with all of that said and done then, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Consider supporting this channel by going to patreon.com/Captain Benzie. Every pledge, every dollar really means the world to me and really helps this channel keep going. Thank you all so much. With all that said and done then, let's jump into the developer Q&A then for the week of the 6th to 12th of September. Question 1. Would it be possible to make it so that when somebody shares a Killmail, you can click on the location at the top left and give options as to either view location on the star map or set an autopilot? This would be a nice feature for responding to a downed ally or for scouting out potential hunting grounds. This is an interesting one, but let's see what Paulin says first. Thank you for your suggestion. The feature to navigate to Killmail locations will be added to the development plan in the near future. Cool, so they are taking that seriously and they're looking to do that, and I do kind of get it, that you should really be able to just tap on anything and allow it to do the thing. So if you've got a Killmail that has a location on it, you should be able to tap that and view it or autopilot to it. If someone links something in chat, you should be able to tap it and autopilot to it. Making everything the kind of thing that you can link and move between is a really solid quality of life feature. Now, that said, the reason I'm like, on this is that it's so easy to already report your location, so that idea of responding to a downed ally, they should have been calling for help in a system anyway, or they can just link the system that they're in. There are already ways. That said, I do think this is a good feature. I look forward to this being added to the game in the future, certainly for the potential hunting grounds idea of it. It's also nice for me to, if I see a load of Killmails going on, I can add it to a void list while exploring, right? Question number 2. Can we please have a diversity of daily login rewards rather than just temporary skins, prototype rigs, test module boxes, or implant upgrade material? Now, implant upgrade materials and test module boxes I do actually think are pretty useful. Prototype rigs I personally like, but I get why other people don't. And the temporary skins, yeah, they're very limited, and 15 days for temporary skins, it's just not exciting. I do agree that some of this does need changing. Fortunately, so does Cloud. Thanks for the suggestion. We have plans to get rid of some old items and gradually add some new rewards. I think the implant upgrade materials are probably fine. Lazarus units are a good thing to do there. I think a lot of people who ask this kind of thing just don't know what to put in its place. And anyone who says Plex, yeah, I kind of want to take that person out behind the bike sheds and shoot them. Because, no, You should never be giving Plex away as this kind of thing, because that's going to massively affect the Plex market in a bad way. That is not a good thing to do. Skill points, contentious but kind of work. Lazarus units, definitely. I think the implant upgrade materials work as well. I think nanocore upgrade materials could go in there. That could be quite an interesting one. Maybe the occasional gravitational wave 2 graph. I don't know. I think there's a lot of interesting things you could add to there. I'd love to hear what you think in the comment section below. Question 3. You mentioned mobile tractor units, MTU, would be introduced into the game. Is there a plan to launch those anytime soon? And this is the point I was making about how not everyone watches all of the dev Q&As and so maybe doesn't get all of the answers. Cloud has confirmed in the past that the MTU has been temporarily removed from the development plan. It will not be released in the near future. Its addition to the Trello roadmap was a mistake, a ridiculously disappointing one. I think mobile tractor units and mobile depots would be quite interesting things to add to the game at this point in time. There are some bigger overhauls that do need doing. Oh god, I'm not going to go into that in this video. You know how I feel on that if you watch my channel at all. If you don't, just scroll back through a couple of videos. I'm talking like, you know, some content that's not battleship centric. I'm talking major overhaul fixes to industry. Not insurance. Fix industry first. If you fix in industry, insurance kind of gets fixed en route. Anyway, let's not go down that one on this video. Definitely, the MTU is something I would like to see added. For those of you who don't know what an MTU is, it's essentially a box that you drop in space that drags enemy wrecks closer towards you, and so you can loot them a lot easier. Now, this is a big thing in EVE Online because your looting range is only 2 kilometers there, whereas in EVE Echoes we've got a 10-kilometer looting range. But it's nice to be able to just drop one of those when you're in something like, say, a rattlesnake, and then just as you're doing the fight, every other box just gets drawn towards you, so by the end you can loot it all. That said, it does kind of... It's going to make reprocessing an even bigger problem than it already is, so yeah, that really needs fixing first. Same when people talk about ion strip miners not being in the game yet. We need to already slow down our ore yields. If you want ion strip miners, then we need to massively slow down the near infinite ore faucet that is currently in the game anyway. And no, I don't hate miners. That is a change that would massively help miners and industrialists. Anyway, question number 4 then. Can we see a refresh of the ship tree? Oh dear lord, yes. Make this happen. The 4 main factions only list their combat ships, but the other factions list their industrial ships. With the addition of the capital ships, the tree has expanded. Can we get the industrial ships and capital haulers added to the ship tree? At the moment, there's no ability to compare the specs of these ships, I think that's supposed to be, other than using the market and recording the details outside of the game. Yeah, I literally have a notepad for that. If you want to compare the Wreath 2 to the Tyra 2 to all these, you know, you have to actually sit there and manually write it all out. There's no real way to link those. Same with the Society of Conscious Thought ships. Those are not shown in the game. You cannot view the Sunesis, the Praxis, the Gnosis, or the Praxis 2 in the ship trees. That should be added. Every ship that can be flown in the game, even the Enforcer prototype, should be shown in the ship tree. I don't think the Sleepers should. Yes, I'm aware Sleepers have stats. Every ship in the game has always had stats since the start, so it was obvious when they added the Sleepers back in Verge of Silence that you could theoretically view their stats, and to do that you just get killed by them and then open up the Killmail tab on the ships and you can view them. That doesn't mean they're flyable, it doesn't mean they should be flyable, but that's another topic for a previous video I've already done. But basically every ship that can be flown should be in the ship trees. Simple as that. Thanks for the feedback, says Paulin. The addition of Imperial industrial ships to the ship tree will be put on the development schedule. Yeah, please make it happen. Also, Society of Conscious Thought and the new Concord ship as well. I would love that, actually, they do that and they add the Enforcer prototype, and when we look, there's suddenly a Marshal prototype and a Pacifier prototype. That would make me so happy. Dear manufacturers, question number 5. For the money I bought that golden implant pulse crystal for the Aurum, pumped it up to level 18 and was disappointed. I had to buy another gold implant for the Aurum. Is there a way to collect experience from an implant I don't need into the right one? Thanks in advance. Okay, this speaks to something else, but we'll come back to that. Thank you for your feedback, says Melos, but currently this is not in our development plan. In a way, implants are like skills. Even if you don't find them useful for now, there will be scenarios where they can be very helpful in the future. Now, my first thought to that is that yes, Melos, but you can respec skills, which you can't do with implants. But I do get where he's coming from. That particular part of skills is not what he's referencing. He's referencing the fact that you may not be using the skills now, but they may be useful in future. And I know Inferus does this really well in Cat Skull. I don't think he's ever actually performed a respec. When he wants to try something else, he just starts training into that thing, which means if he ever goes back to something later, it's already there, and he's got this beautiful skill tree that's just full of, like, history. It basically shows everything that he's done. And I think that can be really, really, really sort of a beneficial way of looking at things like this. I'm in two minds about this. Should you be able to strip an implant back down like you can a nanocore in order to pump another one? I think implants are just such a mess in general. I don't know. I really don't know on this one, because, yeah, sorry, you've spent like 50 to 90 bucks on that implant. Well, no, it's a 90 bucks one, so it's the golden implant. Pumped it up to level 18 and then bought another. So you've spent $180 on something that, yeah. There's a part of me that thinks if you're going to be spending that much money on a game like this, you should be doing your research ahead of time. Equally, I know it's not that simple. It's not just a case of drop the 90 bucks and, you know, it's going to be the one you want. You can read the stats and think this is really cool, but in practice it doesn't quite work. That said, I don't know. I really don't know on this. I think implants, as I said, have genuinely just been such a mess of bad implementation. Some of them are ridiculously overpowered, some of them are just really flat out boring or broken and not really working properly. They're all very much a scary element of pay to win in what should be a sandbox game. The fact that you can only get these by using battleships in high-tier dormant realms, or carriers and, you know, dreadnoughts in high-tier dormant realms, or by dropping a crap ton of real-world money on them is disappointing. I still don't have an implant on any of my 6 characters since the implants dropped. I still don't have one because I refused to spend $90 on an implant. And I don't have the capacity to really run Dormant Realms to get the stuff there. You know, I'm just... yeah, that sucks. That really, really sucks. And I get that it sucks to spend $180 on implants to find the one that you actually like. Yeah, there should have been a way to, like, trial it, to see this ahead of time, to try out the different implants and all this kind of thing. But hey, I could also say they should have run the implants by the content creators, given us a brief testing window before they launched that we could give feedback in, and crap like that. But NetEase is absolutely insistent. They don't need no guidance, and they can sort this all out on their own. And then they release stuff, and it's just broken and messy like this. And it just makes me so angry. It really makes me so angry. I think, yeah, even if you don't find them useful for now, there will be scenarios where they can be very helpful in the future. Yeah, I think I kind of agree that if you've gone for the pulse crystal laser, whereas you wanted the focusing laser one, there is going to be a possibility in the future you do actually want the pulse one, and you'll really enjoy that and make use of it. I do genuinely think a lot of players get stuck in a rut where they find something that they want to do, and they just do that one thing over and over and over again, and then complain that they're bored. See my video on why you aren't having fun in the game, or why you aren't having as much fun as you could be. I talk about that a lot there, and it's kind of a video topic I want to come back to in the next week or so. I don't know, this is one I really need your guys' thoughts and opinions on. I'd love to know what you think on this. I know it's really tempting, especially for those of you who aren't, you know, big on whaling, to laugh at this guy and go, lol, he spent $180, wasted $90 on an implant he's not going to use, cry harder whale, and stuff like that. That's unfair. This is still a player in our community. And I'm in so many minds about this one. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. But that is it for this week's developer Q&A. We got 5 questions, none of them particularly exciting, if I'm being completely honest. I do think the ship trees is probably the one that I'm most excited about, actually getting that information properly displayed. But even then, ooh, wow, ship trees. Yeah, I don't know, dev Q&As come and go. Some of them are just ludicrously like, oh my god, infuriating, what are they thinking? Some of them like, actually that's really cool, let's make that happen. And then some of them like this are just a little bit meh, where not really much happens. But worth reading through, worth getting an idea of what the devs are thinking and seeing what other players are thinking as well and looking for in the game. But there we go. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Otherwise, happy sailing, and see you in New Eden!